Fox 26 News at 9 starts now. The world's 1.2 billion Catholics have a new leader. Good evening, everyone. I'm Melinda Spalding. Don is off tonight. Fox's Shannon Bream gives us a look into the life of Pope Francis.
One of 5 children born to an Italian immigrant father, Jorge Bergoglio originally had plans to become a chemist, but abandoned those in favor of the priesthood and spent much of his career teaching others. The first pope from the Americas, Pope Francis, is staunchly orthodox on the issues of abortion, contraception, and same-sex marriage, even provoking a public rebuke from Argentina's president after opposing legislation giving new inheritance and adoption rights to gay couples.
I don't think that any person of conscience would be concerned about a rebuke, whether it's a president or whether it's a street sweeper. We have to do what we have to do, and that means uphold the teachings of the church, teachings of Christ himself.
And while more progressive Catholic organizations know Pope Francis will not break with church doctrine on liberal social issues, they are very encouraged about the example he set by visiting AIDS patients, kissing and washing their feet, and his commitment to the poor.
A lot of people don't know this, but he's somebody who shunned having a large palace for his bishopric. He's somebody who takes public transit to work. He cooks his own meals. That's unusual. To have somebody in the Vatican in the chair of St. Peter who represents those values is something that we need in the 21st century.
And there seems to be strong enthusiasm about the fact that the electors selected a man from a region where Protestant evangelicals have been making strong gains.
I think it's interesting because we see the church growing all around the world. So long the Eurocentric focus, and now we see the burgeoning churches in Asia and Latin America and in Africa. So I think the cardinals made a strong statement about the growth of the church and the revitalization of the church that's going to come from places, most especially like Latin America.
Lawmakers here in Washington are offering their congratulations as well.
I'm happy that they were able to come to a choice as quickly as they did. I think that reaching out beyond the traditional continent of our church is another big step in the right direction for the church.
The president, along with the First Lady, sent his warm wishes to the new pope tonight in a statement that reads in part, quote, "I look forward to working with His Holiness to advance peace, security, and dignity for our fellow human beings, regardless of their faith." We've also learned tonight that Vice President Biden will travel to Rome for the Pope's installation. In Washington, Shannon Bream, Fox News.
Well, not only is Pope Francis the first pope from Latin America, he's the first pope from the Jesuit order. John Donnelly is live in the newsroom tonight. John.
Melinda, the Jesuits are nicknamed God's Marines because of the military background of the order's founder, Ignatius of Loyola. They have 4 vows: poverty, chastity, obedience to Christ, and obedience to Pope. Now, one of them is the Pope. Pope Francis is the first Jesuit in the church's history. But who are the Jesuits, and what do they believe? And what impact could that have on the future of the church? We put those questions to Reverend T.J. Martinez, a Jesuit priest.
I would say that the Jesuits would probably be known as a religious order of priests and brothers who are primarily involved in what we would call the intellectual apostolate. So that would be running universities, running rigorous college preparatory schools around the country.
Quasi alla fine del mondo.
Schools like Fordham, Georgetown, and Boston College, to name a few. The new pope has a degree in chemistry. They're also known as missionaries, missionaries sent in by the Pope personally, hence the nickname God's Marines. So what does he think the Pope's Jesuit training will have on the future of the church?
He's very traditional, but he has an interesting ability to bring kind of that traditional take in terms of our teachings, in terms of our doctrine, in terms of our canonical law, and he has this wonderful ability to seamlessly integrate that into our social justice push and our social justice message.
Il Santo Padre Francesco.
Dr. Mary Catherine Summers is not a Jesuit. The University of St. Thomas professor says the new pope's chosen name, Francis, is of tremendous significance. Catholics believe that Christ appeared to St. Francis of Assisi and told him to rebuild the church, and the church could use a little bit of that right now.
I think that's a message of unity. I'm a Jesuit. On the other hand, I am naming myself after the great figure of Francis of Assisi.
Jubilant Jesuits have been all over social media. James Martin tweeted, "The first Jesuit Pope fills me with surprises. God is a God of surprises." Andrew Sullivan tweeted, "The first Jesuit Pope, named after arguably the greatest saint, Francis, and from Latin America, big precedents, and they give me some hope." So in which direction will the new Pope lead the church? Well, it's way too early to tell. After all, it's only been a few hours.